أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Last week we started a series on this book called The Keys to Life by Ayatullah Jawadi Amuli. So we talked about how worship, ibadah, is not just praying and fasting and reading Quran and making du'as. It's about all the interactions that we have in life. How we interact, how we deal with things, our relationships. So before we start talking about some of these relationships and interactions, inshallah, if Allah gives us tawfiq next week, there's one introductory point that we have to go through as well. So I have to talk about pizza first. So how much does a large pie cost? A large pie of pizza, about how much does it cost? $18 is one, okay. So depending on where you get it from, maybe $12, maybe $18, maybe even $20, right? So we were at an airport a couple weeks ago, and everybody got hungry, and they wanted pizza, and the fathers know where this is going. So we had to order a large pie. Guess how much it was? $50. $50 for a large pie of pizza, which wasn't even that good, at the airport. Now, how is it fair that a pie of pizza, which is normally $10, $15, $20, $25, one place is all of a sudden $50, double the price, more than double the price at the airport? It's a special place. When you're at different places, there's different values, right? If you buy milk or a drink or anything, or even chips at, let's say, a grocery store, it'll be a normal price. But if you go to a convenience store or a gas station, the prices are higher. So the value, yeah. Yes, actually. You don't believe me? We'll go afterwards and we'll find out. We can go down the road. I'll go right now. So where you are, the place where you are, values can change, right? So I'm sure maybe you've heard of all these different narrations from the Ma'sumin, from the Ahlul Bayt, that talk about rewards and punishment, right? Sometimes we see things where it says, if you go and perform the ziyarah of a certain imam, it's equal to the reward of like 1,000 hajj. Well, that seems weird. Like, how is it that many? Or sometimes we have riwayat and narrations that say, if you pray in jama'ah, like this together, and there's at least 10 people who are praying together, then if you take all of the humans and all of the jinn who have ever lived, you take all of the water that exists and you turn that into ink, and you have everybody just writing down all of the benefits and rewards that exist. They said that they couldn't even write down the value of even one rakat of that namaz, of that salah. Meaning, it's a lot. Like, okay, how does just praying together, one rak'ah, how can it have so much reward? That's reward part. The other side is sometimes when we read narrations about punishments, they sound really, really, really harsh and really scary. For example, we have some narrations that say people who use inappropriate, insulting, and bad language. These are the people that they say the Prophet would never, ever speak to them for the rest of his life. There are people who are rude to others, rude to their kids, rude to their family, and for that reason they can be punished for a very, very long time. You might be thinking, how is that fair? How can one bad thing lead me to punishment for so long? Or the other side too, how can doing one simple good thing give so much reward? How does that make sense? Well, it's because our outlook about the places that we live in are different. There's two different places that we have. We have Dunya, which is what? It's this place, it's this world. And in the Dunya, it's got its own set of rules. It's got its own prices and its own value. So the reward for things over here is based on what the Dunya wants to give. And the punishments for what the Dunya gives is based on what the rules of the Dunya are. But when it comes to the Akhirah, right, this real world that inshallah we're all going to go to. And if we get to either Jannah or Jahannam, hopefully we get to Jannah, right? Then over there, the rules of this place don't apply. The rules are different because the value is different. This place has, what do you think, smaller or bigger value? This place, the Dunya? Smaller. Yeah, I know you mean. No. Yeah, it's less value. So you can do good things over here. You can do basic things, and it's small rewards you might get over here. And you can do bad things over here. There might be small little punishments for that too. But those same things, when you get to the next world, the next life, the reward and punishment gets increased. Because over here, we're only here for some people only a few years, some people maybe 10, 20. We don't know how long we're going to live, maybe even 60, 70 years, but that's it. After this, then we're gone. But in Akhirah, in the real world, that place, how long are we going to live there? Infinite, forever, exactly. So the rewards are going to be infinite. But that also means that the punishment can also be almost infinite too. Yeah? Yes. For certain things, that could happen. You woke up for that part, huh? Recite as-salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So if the rules are going to be different, then our outlook needs to be different. And the reason that Ayatullah Jawadi mentions this in the introduction to the first chapter is because he says, look, in this book, he's going to start bringing, and we're going to start talking about a lot of different narrations about, somebody helping their neighbor, somebody planting a tree, somebody being kind to their younger brother or sister, somebody speaking good words to their parents, all these kind of things. And the rewards are going to sound like a lot, and the punishments are going to sound really harsh too. So you might be thinking, why is that the case? And it sounds weird to us. Why? Because our mind is stuck in the dunya. When we think about the next world, then it'll sound like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. So he wants us, before we start talking about all these different positives and negatives and rewards and punishments, to make sure we're thinking about life the right way. That this is not our real life over here. This is not our real life. This is where we get tested. This is where our trial happens. This is where we do what we have to do. But the place where we really get either rewarded or punishment is the next life. That's our real life. This is just a stopover, right? This is just a small little place. So we don't want to get caught up in everything over here. So he gives some other examples as well. So right now, if let's say you want to, it may not matter for us, but back in the day when people would pick, where, let's say you go camping, or like a real camping, not fake camping where, you have like AC and everything, but real camping. If you go, you want to pick a place that is next to water, right? Because if you have to get water from somewhere, it's going to be next to a stream or a river. So the place you're going to decide to live has to be next to water. So you'll be chasing after that, like where's the stream, where's the river? That's where I'm going to go and pitch my tent. But Ayatollah Jawadi says that in the Akhirah, it's different. Water and other things like that chase after you. Yeah. You get the power instead. So there's one ayah of the Quran that basically says, in Jannah, where you want to, you can just kind of point your finger and draw a line, and boom, a stream will end up over there for you. Yeah. So all those powers that you wish you had over here, you get them over there. Because that place doesn't play by the same rules. But there's other examples too. Let's say you want to have a whole garden of different kind of fruits, right? You want strawberries and apples and bananas and everything. So what do you have to do? You have to get seeds for each and every one of those things, right? You have to make a separate banana tree, a separate apple tree, orange. You have to do everything separately. What happened? Yes. Is it a comment about your favorite fruit or something else?
You have to have the right temperature.
Yes, you have to have the right temperature, right amount of sunlight, right amount of water, right soil. So there's a lot of variables. You're right. Yes. You could just buy it. That's true. Yes, thank you, my capitalist daughter. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah. But the benefit is in the Akhirah, you can get anything you want. Somebody asked our 8th Imam, Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. He said, Nabi Adam, when he had eaten from the tree, we heard different things from the other Imams. We heard in one tradition that you said it was an apple, which is not true. We heard in one tradition that it was grapes. We heard in one tradition that it was wheat. We heard in one tradition it was dates. That's what some Imam said, or that's what they thought some Imam said. So he asked the 8th Imam, okay, which is it? Which of these items, which fruit or what thing did he actually eat? So the 8th Imam said, every single one of them. He's like, that's impossible. Why? Because it's just one tree. You can't have wheat and dates and apples and all these different things. It's impossible. He said, it's because you're not thinking about it the right way. That tree wasn't a tree of the dunya. It was a higher dimension tree. And trees like that can give you any fruit that you want, can give you any item that you want. And that's why we have the same thing. When we go towards Akhirah, all the rules there, they apply differently. So whatever food you want to get, you guys have heard the famous story too that when there are birds that are flying around, if you want to grab it and turn it into Dave's hot chicken, you can do that too. Yeah. You can just take it, grab it, take a bite, and then throw it back in the air, and it goes and flies away again. Yeah. Whatever spice level you want to, right? Okay, that's enough food talk for today. Inshallah, after Asr, then we'll go have some food, inshallah. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ahli baytihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin.